So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Powder Coatings Color of the Year launch 2023. We're very much looking forward to share with you all our insights today. Thank you for joining. Maybe a few practical things. I'll shortly take you through the agenda. There is a Q&A chat box on the right side of your screen. So if you have any questions, please type them there. And at the end of the session, we'll have plenty of time to address those. Also below that, there is an area where you can download the color card. If you can't wait for 15 minutes when we get to it in the presentation, you can already see it there, as well as the link to our website where you can find more information. So what we're going to cover today, first of all, we'll welcome you. I'll introduce you to the rest of the speakers and give a short introduction about AkzoNobel and Interpon powder coatings. Then we'll talk you through the launch of the AkzoNobel Color of the Year, the trend research we've done, the experts involved, and the color palette that we've selected, and then translating that into powder coating specifically. So which is the powder coatings Color of the Year and the adjacent color palette. Next, we'll educate you and explain about our digital colors and the digital platforms that we have available for you. I know many people still like to have the panels, but there's also very interesting digital ways nowadays to investigate colors and have more of your investigation journey on colors. So we'll show you that. And then again, at the end, there will be plenty of time for questions. Let me first introduce you shortly to each of the speakers of today. My name is Dirks. I'm the Global Segment Manager for Architectural Powder Coatings at AkzoNobel. And I have with me Stephie.
Hi, I'm Stephie Sijssen. I'm Global Color Design Manager, responsible for the global design team of automotive and specialty coatings.
And hi, I'm Steph Mallam, and I'm the Powder Coatings Colour Manager. I'm looking after all colour processes from how we manage software and tools that we give to our customers, right through into the lab and in the factory.
Perfect. Welcome, ladies, and thanks for joining me today. So for those of you that AkzoNobel is new, I would like to introduce very shortly in a few minutes what is AkzoNobel, Interpon, and what is our footprint globally. So we are the leading manufacturing powder coatings around the world. You can see on the map here, we have 29 factories around the world. This call, I think we have most people from the EMEA region, and you can see that's also where we have a very large manufacturing footprint with factories from South Africa to Czech Republic to the UK or Italy. We have over 4,000 people working for the powder coatings business in AkzoNobel, and we have more than 30,000 customers. So lots of experience, and also not only a manufacturing footprint globally, but also our specification and our sales teams are located all around the world. With those powder coatings, we service several segments. Most focus today is, of course, on the segments where design and color are most relevant, of which the first one is clearly the world of architecture. So this is all powder coatings that go into the built environment, so on windows, doors, facades, also adjacent fencing, railing, etc. Then we have automotive powder coatings. I think everybody knows the automotive industry. We have general trade coaters. This is the job coaters where actually the coating jobs are done. And I see we're joined by some customers who are professional coaters. Then we have the industrial segment. This is where we have anything from furniture, lighting, shelving, racking, so any industrial or consumer type of products that can be powder coated. And we have lastly functional, which is much more functional coatings on more industrial applications. And AkzoNobel has a very long history of powder coatings with more than 5 decades of experience. And you also see lots of companies that have been brought together into what is AkzoNobel and what is the Interpon brand today. So lots of experience all around the world, also acquisitions done around the world. So it's bringing every time new expertise, new technologies. With the most recent acquisition was with Stahl Coatings, who had a very good low cure technology for not only on metal and steel substrates, but also on other substrates. That's not what today's webinar is about, but clearly if you want to have more information, feel free to reach out to us. For those of you really new, not only to AkzoNobel, but also to the world of powder coatings, just a few words on what are powder coatings actually. So as the name is suggesting, it's a coating system that doesn't contain any liquid. So it's applied, as you can see on the image, through electrostatic deposition, where the coating sticks to the substrate that you're trying to coat. Any waste that is falling off can be recycled back into the process. And after the application, the objects are sent into an oven, and the coating is cured into a high cross-linked film that is protecting your substrates from corrosion, giving it a nice color, etc. So why would you use AkzoNobel powder coatings? Well, the Interpon powder coatings can be realized through product performance, sustainability, but also the process in which the powder is applied. So powder coatings have a better sustainable footprint because we have no VOCs. We also have minimal waste because of the recycling options, which, in the end is better for the environment. Also, we're looking into lower pure processes to make sure that we can also help our customers reduce their energy consumption in the manufacturing process. We also have extremely durable ranges available, and also the products presented to you today are all our super durable technology. I'll tell you more about that later. But across powder coatings, you have a lot of different type of technologies available, giving the suitable protection what you need for your coated substrates. Overall, powder coatings are easy to apply. They're a little more forgiving than liquid paint, often in a single application, and all of that together can accelerate your production process. Now, you're not here only to learn about powder coatings in general, but actually to learn about color, our trend research, and then the color of the year. So for that introduction, I'll hand over to Stephie.
Thank you, Bob. And I'm very excited to present to you our new AkzoNobel Color of the Year. Before we dive into the details of the color itself, let me tell you a bit more about the people behind the color. As design manager of one of the industrial design teams, we're very closely linked to our AkzoNobel Global Aesthetic Center, who is working more on the deco side. It's really our common goal to make sure our customers can select the best color for their project. And whether that's somebody who wants to paint a kitchen wall, or an architect selecting finishes for a new project, or a team of designers who is creating a color range, whether it's for a furniture collection, or for a car interior or exterior, or a mobile phone. For all these different markets, we want to make sure as AkzoNobel that we can provide on-trend, credible colors that will last. So how do we make sure that we offer relevant colors to all those different markets? It starts every year with a workshop that we organize with our internal design experts, but also with a very experienced team of external experts. Together, we talk about what is happening in the world, what's going on, what will influence us in the future, and we define those trends that will really influence our color and material choices for the future, whether that's for our home or products we use, the environment we live in. And based on those insights, within that context, we as AkzoNobel define then what is the color of the year, what color represents really what we talked about and that mood of the moment. And combined with that color, we create kind of market-specific palettes that complement the color and really reflect the trends that we're seeing for the future. This is a special year. We're proudly presenting 20 years of Color of the Year campaign within AkzoNobel, and it's the 4th year that we're presenting powder coating Color of the Year as well. Let's look at the experts, the color experts, both internal and external at AkzoNobel. Here you see the team which we discussed the trends for next year and upcoming years with. You see people from all over the globe, so really making sure that we have both local and global input in our color discussions, but you also have different backgrounds. So there are product designers, architects, interior designers, paint specialists, people who know everything about pigments, people who really work with social cultural trends. So from all different perspectives, making sure that we can look at what's happening in the world from different angles And then together we define the context we will work in to create our color palettes. If we look at what we're seeing for 2023 and beyond, because this is not only for the next year, we're often working for markets that work on products that will be released only in 2 years or 4 years or even 8 years. So all those timings are taken into account when we talk about the trends. But the 4 big drivers that we see for now are, first one, focus on mental health. We really see a growing attention for this mental health, and within that, the importance of nature for people to feel good, to feel healthy, and to feel grounded. So their natural colors, kind of the blues and the greens, are really important. The second trend, collective thinking. This is a trend about harmony, about the need to work together, to connect, to learn from people, to see things from different perspectives as well. So this is a bit more colorful, where kind of all different things come together to create a nice whole. Trend number 3, bio-inspiration. This trend, it's all about how nature can really be the inspiration to design things for the future, and how it can drive innovation based on what we see how nature is doing things. And then trend number 4 are the cycles of life, and here kind of the rhythms of nature, the seasonality, the day-night rhythm, or the inspiration, as we see that's really important kind of for people also to create balance in their everyday life. So what do these kind of general high-level trend drivers mean for our spaces? We need spaces that can offer us a connection with nature so that we can feel the restorative benefits in our living and working spaces, linking to that first trend. We need spaces that can feel unifying and harmonious, allowing us to come together and connect. That's the second one. So we need spaces that can be enriching and act as a springboard for innovation. And finally, we need spaces that can help us feel balanced, creating places where we can switch off and relax. And it's places, it's an atmosphere, so there, all the products that we as AkzoNobel deliver are important to create that atmosphere. And you see a bit that in all of them, there is a role for nature. And nature has been a very important driver for years within the trend presentation. First, it was we as people need to take care of nature. And with the pandemic, we saw the importance of nature taking care of us to feel good and healthy. And now you see that importance of nature even growing. So we see it kind of having its influence in every trend driver that we defined. And therefore, it was also kind of a very important starting point to define our color of the year. So proudly presenting our color of the year 2023, Wild Wonder, this very kind of light, energetic, natural color that can reflect natural light, that works well with other materials, can be quite colorful if you combine it with neutrals, like you see here in the picture with the metallic and the glass. But it can also act as a neutral if you combine it with more darker or more colorful tones. Bob will share with you kind of the picture of the actual powder coating. And there was a very nice metallic selected, so completely in line with the trend for more metallics that we see. And it has this kind of shine to it, very nice reflecting sparkles, almost like when the sun hits something in nature. So really reflecting that whole idea that we saw and we talked about in our trend research, but then translated into a color. Color by itself, for me, is never a trend. It's really important to see how it's being combined and what other colors work well with it. And therefore, also for powder coatings, we kind of want to present you with a palette that complements this color. We picked one of the drivers that felt most relevant for powder coatings markets, so for both architectural, furniture, and lighting space, and that was trend number 3, bio-inspiration. If we look a bit more detail in this trend, this is a trend that's all about kind of tapping into nature's raw genius. So really looking to nature to inspire us for our designs, and that can be both in a way of biomimicry, where the shape of a bird's beak is used as inspiration to design aerodynamics for trains or for planes. But we also see something kind of new coming, all the bio-based materials, people searching how they can, with renewable natural materials, create new substrates. It's creating this new aesthetic and new type of colors that's being used. You see it a bit, this is kind of one of the material studies that we did in the light of these trends, kind of looking at what are the kind of colors that come out of it. So you see this natural cork, wood, you see the textures of the materials coming out, the different shades of brown, and that kind of earthy red that you see in there. And we combine that then in our raw color story, the palette that goes with this third trend. And here you see the colors to go with the color of the year. So our color of the year is the second row, the one on the left, and then it's being kind of complemented by these very natural colors. That clay pink, this peachy, that's very nice brown and bronzes, and that earthy red color that can really stand out. So I hope I was able to present you some colors that can really elevate your project. I think Bob will take you through the actual powder coating, so then it becomes even more interesting. Please feel free to put any questions you might have on that trend research, the background, or the colors in the chat, and we take that at the end of the presentation. Back to you, Bob.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Stephie. So looking on what that actually means for powder coatings then. So as Stephie said, we also chose one of our AkzoNobel powder coating colors to match the Wild Wonder color of the year 2023. And you can see here the image of the flat image, let's say, of the selected coating. This product is globally available, so you can see some product codes below. So whether you're based in China, Vietnam, the US, or anywhere in Europe or Africa, you will have access to this color. This color is a metallic effect. It's a matte metallic effect, combining two of the big trends that we see happening in the industry. So we see big growth in metallics, and we also see big growth in matte effects. And this combination makes it a shade that's very interesting when you look at it from a different light perspective. So if you put it on the outside of the building and the sun goes around the building, it changes color and effects continuously. Yeah, very nice shade, I think. And to give you a little bit more, also a palette to work with, we've designed a mood board that should inspire our customers. What could it look like to use this finish or one of the colors from the palette in the actual built environment? And you can see here it's used on buildings in actual facade panels, into extruded aluminium window or doors, but also for internal applications. So it can be used across a wide range of applications, also again in the lighting or in the furniture industry. And yeah, it's a nice like golden shade without being like a screaming gold shade, I think. We also have matched the full palette of the 8 colors in our powder coating technology. So this is the trend that Stephie described before, tapping into the nature's raw genius, where biomimicry is really inspiring us for the colors that we want to use for the design of our buildings, products, etc. And these 8 shades very nicely, I think, reflect that. And all of these shades are available in our super durable technology, meaning that when it's applied by an approved applicator, you will get up to 25 years of global warranty. Our super durable technology is especially suitable for outdoor aluminium applications, windows and door systems, louvers, balustrades, and any metal features that you can use on commercial or residential buildings, but as said, also in the furniture or lighting space. All of our super durable technology is backed by an environmental product declaration, an EPD, which also should help you in getting LEED or BREEAM credentials if you go for a green building certification. And also this EPD is giving full transparency on the environmental footprint of our products. So from raw materials, production, to the application and the waste, or the lack of waste in case of our products, is all transparent for these products. For Europe specifically, I think most people I see here on the call are familiar with our RTS, our ready-to-ship range. In Europe, all of these 8 products are part of the ready-to-ship range. So panels and samples are available upon request. So please reach out to your specification sales representative, customer service, or your sales team. If you are based in another region and listening to this webcast, of course, we've also matched these in the other, around the world. So the product codes you saw on the previous slide are actually the European product codes, but we happily provide you with the codes applicable to your region. And also you can find on our website the brochures per region where you can find the specific product codes as well. So a color card will be available for each of those for each region. And also, again, the website provides more information. As this color is, of course, a new color, the Wild Wonder color. Unfortunately, we don't have any track record or building where it's shimmering this color yet for you. But we do have one of the other colors that is used in the color palette, which was applied to a French school. May on the picture seem like a white shade, but in fact it's also a metallic shade that also shimmers very nicely as the light moves across the building. It was designed by Groupeniso architect, and this nice picture was taken by Oliver Appar, if I pronounce that correctly. And it's a very nice way to show also how the products from this range can be applied to your projects. Now, we have, as said, a color card, a digital color card for you available, as well as panels. But we are also always trying to strive to look ahead and see what can we do in terms of digital and moving ahead. So Steph will talk you through what do we have available in terms of digital color, and also educate you on how difficult digital colors actually can be.
Thanks, Bob. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the tools that we have available on our website, web store and apps. And what we have today is a unique 3D color visualization tool that can give you instant access to thousands of colors in our Interpon range, where you can actually see them online without having to request a panel or a sample. But those are, so those digital images are available for all of the color of the year colors as well. And we would really recommend that you go on to the apps that we have available or into our web store and have a look so that you can really see what they look like. But just if we wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of how you should interpret those, because it's not as easy as just holding a panel up to the screen and seeing the exact same color, unfortunately. So as you know, there's lots of different screens and technology available, but what we've done is that we've tried to use real color data that we get from measuring our colors on our spectros, and we've put those into a new system that can show you exactly what that color looks like on screen. So we can look at different gloss levels, and we can look at different surface finishes, so different textures, fine texture, coarse texture, and try to give you a real flavor of what that color would look like in real life. So a couple of things to consider really. As you know, when you look at a real panel, if you look at it in different lighting conditions, so if you were outside or you were in an office environment or in your own home, and you had the same panel, the color could look quite different. And if you can see that on that top image there, you can see the same color. So that's our Wild Wonder powder color under different conditions in a light box. And then you can see when we've put those really close together, actually how different those can be. And that's something to consider when you look on screen, that this is a panel under a certain lighting condition. So what we've chosen is daylight. So imagine if you were outside, how that panel would look. That's how we are trying to show you it on screen. And what you can do with our technology is that you can tilt and turn the panel around on screen so you can see different angles. Again, we know that in real life, as you move that panel around, you can see different colors, with it having a bit of a metallic in there, you can see the different sparkle, especially as you tilt it towards the light and away from the light. So what we have on screen is this 3D image under daylight conditions. And if you can see in the middle image there, this is the same colour, a photograph that we took outside when the panel was directed at the sunlight. And the image, the 3D image there we've tried to tilt the 3D image towards the sunlight to give you a very good idea that those colours are pretty close. So yeah, the digital is really reflecting very well what we see in real life, as long as you are, imagining that you're outside in the sunlight. As I mentioned before, definitely something to be considerate of are screen differences. So a laptop screen can be completely different to a desktop screen. The quality, the resolution of the screen, the light intensity that you have the screen at can all affect it. So just something else to be aware of. We've actually optimized our tools so that they are most accurate in an iPad. So if you do have the Interpon Connect app or the Design app, if you could use those on the iPad, then you will get the most accurate colour on screen that we can provide you at this time. Of course, we're always working on advancements, so we expect to be able to increase those capabilities in the next few months or years. One other thing that we have on our website is not just we don't have the 3D image on our website, but what we do have is the 2D image. And in here, we've tried to create a bit of a blended view of all of the different angles that you might see. So you can see some lighter parts and darker parts in that 2D square. And that's trying to represent how the panel would look if it was directed at the sunlight and away from the sunlight in the different parts of the panel. So the top part of the top middle part of the panel is really if it was directed towards the sunlight, and the bottom part is really away from the sunlight. So just a quick conclusion. The 3D panel, it's shown as if it's in a virtual light booth and it's simulated daylight. So imagine that you're outside when you're looking at it. If you're comparing it, just remember that light and conditions can make a big difference. So definitely something to be considerate of. The same with the angle that you're looking at the panel or you're moving it around on screen on. And the 2D image is trying to show you a bit of a representation of how it would look over all of the different angles. So where you can see those colours, as I said before, we have our Interpon Connect app and our Design app. Those are both available in iOS. If you have an iPad, definitely recommend that you have a look on there to really see the full capability of our 3D images. And in those apps, you can find, all of our product information, technical data sheets, and the 2D and 3D colours. Our website has the 2D colours on of all of our ready-to-ship colours. And in our web store, we also have the 2D and the 3D colours for our ready-to-ship images. So I hope that's given you a little bit of a easier way to interpret our digital colours. And I hope that you go and have a look and let us know what you think. And then I'm going to hand you back to Bob for some questions, hopefully.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, Steph. So yeah, I hope that was providing you some useful insights on the trend research on powder coatings and also on digital color. Then let's see if there's any questions from the audience. So we have still plenty of time. Again, you can go to the right side of your screen, type the question. We'll see it pop up. You can see, I think, questions from the other participants. So we'll collect them and answer them as they come in. Maybe shortly, while that always takes some time to put in some questions, just shortly to recap. There is on the right side of your screen a possibility to download our digital color card for the color of the year. So it contains bigger digital images of the 8 shades, as well as, of course, including the color of the year, with the product codes and with some additional information about the technology. You can also go to our website and find more information there. And lastly, clearly, you can reach out always to us. You can also see on your screen the biographies of Steph, Stephie, and myself with the LinkedIn link on there. So happy to connect with you and have any discussion when needed. I think one question coming in is about availability of panels. Maybe that was for a late joiner. So yes, especially in Europe, all these products are available on our ready-to-ship range, our RTS range. So all these products do have panels, samples available for you upon request. So please, again, reach out and we'll be happily supplying those to you. But of course, we also encourage you to download the design or the Interpon app and have a look at the digital representation of these colors as well. Let's see any more. Don't be shy. Right. Well, if there are no questions, then I hope that it was very crystal clear to you. Oh, see, this always happens when you try to wrap up. No questions from me. Thank you very much. So thank you. Well, so thank you very much for joining. Thank you for your time. The recording will also be available. So if any of your colleagues are interested to watch to it, we kept it within half an hour. So it's always nice to look in. So please, yeah, feel free to share that with your teams. I get a question, does it work on Samsung too? So the apps are at this moment only available in iOS operating systems. So unfortunately, no. Are they good for items such as door handles? Yeah, they can be used for application. Of course, with door handles, you always have to watch the scratch resistance. We do have a range available that's called Interpon X Pro, which is particularly scratch resistant. So that is a range that potentially we recommend more. Yeah, I think that's what I can say. These 8 items do not have particularly that additional scratch resistant functionality. But yeah, reach out to us and we can see what we can do also with these colors for you. Yeah, good questions. Any more? All right. Well then, thank you very much again for your attention. I wish you all a lovely day, afternoon, and hope to be in touch with you in the future. Thank you.